Russian SKS. It's been a bit of a hassle with issues here and there, but I've gotten it to work. So the first thing that you may notice is that this looks almost identical to the barrel and the gas block on the AK that I made a while ago. That's because it's the same thing. I unfortunately ran out of bricks and had to start from scratch by taking apart one of my older rifles. Just so happens that the AK was what went first. So, to start up with the bolt, it's being moved back and forth using a spring that is way too strong and I need to find a better one. I can take the bolt out to show you how it works. So on the actual SKS, this is pretty close. I can't get exact because this is Lego, not full metal. This part actually shows up on the real thing, for example. I have no idea what it's meant to be for. I assume that it's so that you can put stripper clips in it. And this is used so that I can get just a tiny bit of extra space. So I can get half of the stud extra without making this back part where the bolt goes in look too long. And I'm already kind of pushing it. The next big thing is that you might notice that the handguard looks different, and that's because it is. So, here, instead of it being cut on both sides, it just goes on the top side. This is the way that it is on the actual SKS, which is a nice touch that I'm glad I was able to make. With the technically magazine, I don't know what the official term is called. It's a fixed magazine, so you can't take it out. The way that I've got it is that it's just a curved plate. I don't know what they're called once again. And it's attached via one of those pivoting things. So it looks pretty nice. Unfortunately, it does not give any extra space because the entire thing is solid. But it's the best that I can get for now. Now it's this part. I love and hate it. I love it because I was able to make it actually kind of work. I hate it because it took forever. So the first thing that you might notice is that there's a bit of depth to it. There's half of it, or a third of a plate, or one plate higher than the rest, at least for where you hold it with the grip. It's way too fragile. This is on both sides, so it appears like it's at least a bit curved. It isn't. And down here is, on the real thing, it goes out just a bit more, but it gives the look that I want it to. So that way I can just take it, and it feels nice in the hand. Going back, this is the part that I usually have difficulty with, making it get to the correct height while looking about the same. I think I got it, because I used several plates. I do not remember the dimensions. So this makes it so that it's tall enough that it fits in the shoulder well, while also looking relatively correct. And also, when from a distance, it does look as if it's mildly curved. Now, there is a white plate on top. It's difficult to see with the background. If I had enough pieces, I'd do the same thing where I'd have a 2 by whatever plate going along the middle. This is also somewhat strong enough that I can wave it around without worrying about it breaking. I would not drop this, it would shatter. So in here, I'm going to take the bolt out so that it's easier to see. It's actually cut out. So, well, not cut out, you hopefully get what I mean. But on the SKS, it goes down a bit extra and then up a bit with a slant. This was frustrating to get the measurements right, but I did eventually. Now, I have been working on a stripper clip for this. It's just taking a while because getting the bullets to look correct. Sorry, casings, not bullets. If you don't know what the difference is, the bullet is the part that goes out of the barrel. It's usually the lead. The casing is the brass, and that's what holds the gunpowder. And the cartridge is the entire thing. If I said it incorrectly earlier, I apologize. It's something relatively new I'm trying to figure out. You may notice that there is not a rear sight. That's because I'm trying to figure something that would work a bit better. On the other hand, the front sight, it's a lot sturdier, and it looks decent. So you can actually look through it. And there's the cross in there, which does look nice. Now, you definitely can't see it, but when it's zoomed or correct distance, it does work correctly. A relatively new thing that I've been doing to make sure that the iron sights are actually usable is that I've made little targets and big target, so I can determine whether or not it's effective or not. And that is about it. Personally, this has got to be one of my favorites. I did love the AK for it being the first one that I've successfully made and kept for a while. I did love the AR, but that one was just so frustrating to build and it didn't look right with the dimensions and all that it got frustrating to me. So, for now at least, this has got to be my favorite.